The top news posts of November 4th.
Tuesday, November 4th, at 3 a.m. As nuclear weapons testing can forever scar a nation, just ask the Marshall Islands. CNN. A potential return to U.S. nuclear weapons testing is sparking debate. China urges America to maintain its moratorium, pointing to devastating past impacts, notably in the Marshall Islands. Domestically, while the Pentagon reportedly moves quickly, President Trump's push for new tests faces differing views, even from his own energy secretary, on their execution.
Tuesday, November 4th, at 2:43 a.m. Worker dies after partial collapse of medieval tower in Rome. BBC. Tragic news from Rome, where a worker has died after being trapped in the partial collapse of a medieval tower. Rescue efforts ultimately failed to save the man. Authorities are now investigating the cause of the structural failure.
Tuesday, November 4th, at 2:29 a.m. 3 key races: California's map and the Trump factor. What to watch in US elections. BBC. It's election day in the U.S., with pivotal races unfolding in New York City, New Jersey, Virginia, and California. From NYC's mayoral contest to historic potential in Virginia, today's results are being closely watched. These elections are also the first significant barometer of the post-Trump era, offering clues to the former president's ongoing sway in American politics.
Tuesday, November 4th, at 12:26 a.m. Israel rocked by scandal as top military lawyer is thrown into jail. NPR. A top Israeli military lawyer has been arrested, embroiled in a growing scandal rocking the nation. The detention follows the leak of a video allegedly depicting the abuse of a Palestinian detainee, reportedly linked to the Sde Tayman affair. Authorities had been conducting a frantic search for the source of the leak.
Monday, November 3rd, at 11:07 p.m. Virginia governor's race will test Trump and Democrats nationally and make history. App News. The Virginia governor's race is proving to be a national test for both Trump and Democrats, with historical implications. This election isn't just local, it's become about everything, and more than just what it might portend for Trump. We'll bring you live results as they come in.
Monday, November 3rd, at 9:03 p.m. Trump administration says it is paying out half of November's SNAP benefits. The Washington Post. The Trump administration will distribute only half of November's usual SNAP food benefits. This partial payment comes as the ongoing federal government shutdown threatens crucial food aid, leaving some states scrambling. The move is drawing strong criticism, with some calling it cruel. Monday, November 3rd, at 7:46 p.m. NYC mayoral candidates make final push ahead of Election Day. App News. New York City voters decide their next mayor today, in a hotly contested race featuring Zohran Mamdani, Andrew Cuomo, and Curtis Sliwa. Mamdani's campaign has drawn attention. Some CEOs vowed revolt, yet Jamie Dimon offered his support. On election eve, Mamdani urged voters to make history, as Andrew Cuomo secured an endorsement from Donald Trump. We'll have live results as New Yorkers choose their leader.
Monday, November 3rd, at 6:01 p.m. Trump threatens to cut funds if communist Mamdani wins mayoral election. The Guardian. Donald Trump is weighing in on the New York City mayoral race, endorsing Andrew Cuomo. Trump warns he will cut federal funding if what he calls communist Mamdani wins. Mamdani, meanwhile, contends that a vote for Cuomo is effectively a vote for Trump.
Monday, November 3rd, at 5:55 p.m. Reaganomics in Jersey. Jack Ciattarelli has a supply-side dream if H is elected governor this week. Politico. New Jersey heads to the polls this week for a pivotal gubernatorial election. Republican Jack Ciattarelli is campaigning on a supply-side economic vision, while Democrats are focusing on early vote advantages and reversing recent Latino voter trends. Election watchers, including Nate Silver's 538, are offering their predictions as we prepare for live results.
Monday, November 3rd, at 4:48 p.m. Thune says extended shutdown means Senate needs to shift date on funding government. ABC News. Discussions are intensifying in Washington over government funding. Senate Republicans are reportedly exploring a longer-term spending bill, with a new continuing resolution date now under discussion. Senator Thune is optimistic a shutdown could end this week, potentially with funding secured through January. Senators are eyeing a December or January deal as negotiations heat up.
Monday, November 3, at 4:42 p.m. Education Department sued over new student loan forgiveness rule Axios. The Education Department is facing multiple lawsuits over a new rule limiting student loan forgiveness for public servants. States and other groups allege the Trump administration's controversial policy could deny public workers crucial forgiveness, especially if their cities defy federal directives. The new rule faces legal challenges from several fronts.
Monday, November 3, at 4:41 p.m. Starbucks to sell majority stake in China business to Boyu Capital. Financial Times. Starbucks is selling its majority stake, giving up control of its China business, to Boyu Capital. The deal is valued at a significant $4 billion. Boyu Capital is reportedly securing a $1.4 billion loan to help finance this major takeover.
Monday, November 3, at 4:23 p.m. Jamaica rushes to prepare for peak tourism season as it digs out from Hurricane Melissa. App News. Jamaica is in a race against time. The island nation is not only digging out from the devastation of Hurricane Melissa but also rushing to prepare for its crucial peak tourism season. Desperate survivors are working to kickstart recovery, awaiting vital aid for both the living and, tragically, the dead. Support is pouring in globally, with centers like one in Leicester deluged with relief supplies. As communities, particularly a seaside town, pick up the pieces, there's also relief. A South Florida father has been reunited with his 12-year-old son, who was stranded on the island for days after the storm. Monday, November 3, at 3:56 p.m. Tanzania's president blames foreigners for deadly protests after disputed election. PBS. Tanzania has sworn in new President Samia Suluhu Hassan, but the nation remains embroiled in unrest following a disputed election. The opposition labels the vote a sham, alleging hundreds of deaths and ongoing human rights abuses amid internet blackouts. While the president blames foreigners for protests, an urgent advisory now warns safari tourists of potential violence. Monday, November 3, at 2:19 p.m. Tariffs have been Donald Trump's personal crusade. Now a Supreme Court test. ABC News. The Supreme Court takes on Donald Trump's tariffs in the monumental test of presidential power. Justices will scrutinize Trump's tariff policies, examining issues of executive authority, separation of powers, and the legality of using emergency declarations to impose global tariffs.